Hey everyone, this is James from Brewing Books. In case you're wondering, what's the difference between these two books? I'd say besides how they look, nothing. They're exactly the same inside. So what's the point of this video? Well, as you may have guessed, one is a paperback costing around $5 and the other one is an illustrated edition with some fancy artwork and aesthetics costing around $150. And it's a question I get asked a lot. Is there a difference between one edition from the other? Most of the times there's virtually no difference in the content whatsoever. Most of what Tolkien had to say and write will be found in different versions of the same book, year after year. Perhaps the only real difference in the content itself is the revised text and the removal of certain grammatical errors made during the production of a previous edition of a book. But other than that, rest assured it's all the same. So what makes such a difference in price between these two? I like to think that these two editions serve very specific and separate purposes. This, for instance, is for practical reasons. It's small, light, and easy to use. It's flexible, I can open it up quite easily, and it really makes for a great reading book. It's simply a pleasure to read through, and I really find it comfortable holding it in my hands as I read through, especially given that it's quite a thick book. This, on the other hand, is large, it's heavy, and it's a burden to read, to be honest. And its goal is primarily as a collectible item. A book that graces your Tolkien collecting shelf with its sheer beauty and majesty. Since we're here, I'll just extract the book from its slipcase cover so you can see the real beauty of this book, including the, oh wow, quite a shine on those pages there. Even the print quality, the pages compared, for instance, to the paperback. They're both well made, even this, considering it's cheap and a paperback, but for instance, even the spine has cracked after years of reading. Not to say this won't, but it's perhaps more difficult to achieve this level of time-worn effect. In addition, this also has a number of features and additional supplements. For instance, this short booklet about the writing and the creation of the Silmarillion. Or, for instance, we have a map here. And this is, in fact, an early rendition, an early sketch of the map of Beleriand, which was included in this particular edition, which is something you don't find in either the paperback or more recent editions of the Silmarillion. Something else, we also find artwork by J.R.R. Tolkien, and also another map, and this is a full color map of Beleriand. Now, for instance, a map is usually found at the back of the book. For instance, with the paperback, they are usually placed at the back, which I personally find it handy when you have everything fixed or glued to the book in a single kind of volume. For some reason, as I said, for practical reading purposes, it's much easier. Whilst you're reading, you just flip through it to the back, find your map, find your location, and then you're back to reading. However, when it comes to an edition like this, and you have your map which is separate from the book itself, I guess it's easier in a way. You can just open this up on a table whilst you're reading without having to flick through the pages to the back and back to the text. But obviously that requires a larger reading space perhaps. While something like this, it's compact, you can carry it around and you have everything with you without fear of, losing the map along the way. But again, you can't argue with the beauty of this edition. This particular edition, in fact, is the recently released illustrated by the author edition, and it's simply stunning. Now, I consider reading any kind of book as a journey. The act of reading in itself is an invitation into an experience you can't replicate anywhere else. Reading a Tolkien book, on the other hand, is at an even greater level in my opinion. And while this can be achieved by a cheap paperback, something like this adds to the experience and almost elevates such a monumental piece of literature. You have a book here with such immense depth and broadness in its scope that is presented in such a glamorous way that pretty much justifies the intricacies and the epic qualities of the narrative itself. And this applies to other Tolkien books which are presented in a variety of editions. The same thing with The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. The text is virtually the same. The maps, the index of names, the illustrations, obviously depending on the edition itself, they're all there. It's just that they are presented in a different way aesthetically. And ultimately, this takes nothing, absolutely nothing away from the writing itself, which is ultimately the most essential and crucial and important thing. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I've been a bit absent over the past few weeks, but I'm trying to catch up and I'm already planning a couple of videos which will be released in the coming weeks. So please do stay tuned. In the meantime, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.